Morse in the studio, Louisiana Key Academy, a new initiative here in Ruston. Stick around, it's very exciting, and it may be the solution that you, a parent, have been looking for. Grandparents as well. B.J. Thomas on the new Rue 102. He's hooked on a feeling where it is now 8:43. I am Rick Godley, and in the studio, as we just lit up and fired up the Facebook live streams, folks are looking at Jenny Morse. She is the director for the Louisiana Key Academy Ruston Pod campus. And Louisiana Key Academy, I'm going to let her describe about it, but what little I know, I feel this is very exciting. So, Jenny, good morning. How are you?
Good morning. Thanks for having me.
Oh, you're most welcome. Louisiana Key Academy, let's do the brief on that first, and then let's talk about how you got involved in the world.
Yes. Okay, well, Louisiana Key Academy is a free charter school system. There's a first campus was in Baton Rouge, so going on its 11th year. That's our flagship campus in Baton Rouge. So we also have one in North Shore and Caddo. And then now Ruston is doing a pod, which just means small school. We're piggybacking off of Caddo's charter.
I got you. So Louisiana Key Academy, for some reason I had in my mind that it was in New Orleans, but it's not in New Orleans, and so it is in Baton Rouge, North Shore, as you're saying, Shreveport, and now Ruston. And enrollment for children in the first, second, and third grade only, is that right?
This year only second, third, and fourth grade, and then we'll scale each year.
I got you. All right, so explain what a charter school is, because there are some folks out there that they think that, well, if I'm going to pull my child out of a public school, then I'm going to have to pay a tuition.
Right, right. Well, a charter school is great. We're a type 2 charter school, which just means that we report to Bessie rather than our city.
Right.
And we're also a 501c3, but it is free tuition for all families. So anyone can come.
And also in the public service announcement that we're running for you as well, that if you apply to LKA, Louisiana Key Academy, your child will be assessed free. Is that correct?
Oh, that's one of the best parts of this whole thing. Trying to get a diagnosis for dyslexia is kind of difficult and expensive. So this would be, if a family applies for their student to attend, they will have free assessment from people who really know about dyslexia.
Well, as I'm learning more and more about dyslexia, I mean, it's not a disease, is it?
No. Actually, it's just an inefficient way that the brain is reading. Okay, so you have a non-dyslexic brain reads in a certain way and certain parts of their brain light up, and a dyslexic brain reads as well, but it's inefficient. So they need a little bit more time and a more structured way of learning it.
Well, and one of the things, too, is the school systems that we find ourselves in. A lot of the teachers get frustrated because the children that they're trying to teach at a young age of second, third, and fourth grade, they're not diagnosed properly, and so that creates frustration not only for, I would dare say, the teacher, more so for the student, and then the parents.
Right. And I think there are some good strides being made, and certainly a lot of people in the school system and in administration who really care about helping those kids, but we're kind of streamlining. As a dyslexia school, we don't have to worry about folding them in any way. This is the only thing that we're dealing with.
All right, the mission of Louisiana Key is to provide an innovative and effective, and I love that as well, learning curriculum to children who have been diagnosed with dyslexia, and we believe that the students with dyslexia should be identified, and that therein maybe lies the rub, that they get through the system and they're not properly identified, and that creates a whole myriad world of challenges for the person as well as the community and the family, and you want the children to reach their full potential.
You might already see they're difficult rhyming, difficult pronouncing, or they might make some funny mistakes like hecky docker instead of helicopter. Those kinds of mistakes that you make when you're a real
Right, and you know, some of the dyslexia facts that I'm putting up on the screen right now, why don't you talk to some young parents that may not fully understand what's happening with their little daughter or their little child, as you just mentioned. What other signs could they or should they be looking for?
Well, a difficulty with alphabet is really one of the very first ones. Having trouble just identifying the letters, again, rhyming, those kinds of read where it's close to the right word, but there's some letters kind of jumbled up. All of those are reasons to think, maybe something's going on and we need to have them assessed.
You told me when we first met, 1 in 5 children, is that the national average?
Yes. Okay, so when I first heard that statistic, I did not believe it. I really didn't. It seems too many. 20% of population? Come on. But I went and looked at all of the research. It is so solid. And the difference in those numbers, sometimes there is that disparity in the numbers. Well, part of it is if you are identifying people in a classroom that you already think are struggling, that's different than screening. Kind of like health, think of it that way. If you're not struggling with anything, but you get screened for something, that's for everyone to get tested.
I got you.
And that's where we get that 20%, is when you screen everybody, 1 in 5 are dyslexic.
All right, so you have had, I'm going to guess, did you have 3 community meetings so far? And there's a 4th one scheduled for Monday, is that correct?
Yes, right. Come and find out, because we'll have a little slideshow, a little PowerPoint kind of talking more about dyslexia and about our school model, a little more specific. And then we'll have a Q&A, which is really the golden part right there, is you can ask more specific questions and get some answers.
I'm going to go out on a limb here because I'm showing a picture now of you at one of these informational meetings. That some parents just probably broke down and cried because, am I right or wrong on that?
Well, no, there's not maybe crying or gnashing of teeth, but there's really frustration.
No, I'm talking about a sigh of relief that
yes.
Somebody like you are now starting to speak in a way that I can understand, because I'm talking about parents even being confused because they don't understand what's happening with their child.
I completely understand. Really, first and foremost, I am a mom of a dyslexic daughter. So that's how this whole entire journey started, was not knowing what was going on with my child, feeling like really nobody in the community. I tried so many avenues and I just couldn't quite get the answers I was looking for, just some decent explanations. Everyone tried, I think everyone did their part, but it just was so confusing to me. So I really had to make my own way to find out what was going on with my daughter. So to have a little child, maybe 6 years old, hitting their head and saying, I'm dumb, I'm so stupid, when they're not, they're smart, they're just struggling with reading.
Well, this is, and if you look on the screen there, that's one of the most powerful graphics that I've seen in all of your literature. Like the child's there looking down, he's frustrated, holding up a card saying help, and we don't know how the answer. I shouldn't say that. I mean, we're struggling, or the system's struggling, as you mentioned, and you're frustrated, Mom, to find out what is going on. And that's what Louisiana Key Academy is here for.
Right. We cut through, teachers are trained about dyslexia. We use a different model, really, that's based on the National Reading Channel. We have a really great way of delivering regular school subjects in a different way that reaches dyslexia.
So the 2nd, 3rd, and 4th grade is going to be the inaugural, if you will, of the Louisiana Key Academy in Ruston, exclusively for Ruston.
No, it's really anyone willing to drive. The nature of this kind of charter school is really to anybody that will come.
Awesome. As I also, let me see if I can find that graphic. No, that's not it. You're hiring as well. Explain.
Yes.
There's an opportunity for 2nd through 4th grade teachers.
Right. So we have been hiring, and we will continue. We need 2nd grade, 3rd grade, 4th grade. We call them homeroom teachers, so they teach every subject. But our ratio is great, 1 to 17 in that homeroom. But we also have pull-out programs, sort of. They don't miss any content, okay? So in a regular school, usually they're being pulled out from something else, and they're missing that to do reading. But we're not doing that. We have it all scheduled in. So you'll have a small group as well, which is only 1 to 6. So they'll have their structured language arts time. We also are looking for a PE teacher, which is part-time, and an operations assistant as well.
All right, so the graphics up here, how do they go about learning? Is there a website, or do they want to get in touch with you?
Yes, www.lkaschools.com. If you search for Ruston, in the menu you can find it, or I think it's /Ruston. Is that correct? I'm not looking at it, but I believe that's right. Or you can contact me as well. My contact info is all over both the website, and it'll be attached to this as well.
Jenny Morse, our guest, the director of the LKA, which stands for Louisiana Key Academy, Ruston Learning Pod. And do they have to be certified, the teachers that you're looking for?
Yes.
They do. Okay, so got it. So Rick Godley can't be one of those.
No.
Not
We
even,
appreciate the interest.
well,
but,
it's just an interest. It was no, I'm not going. All right, so unleash your child's potential, Louisiana Key Academy. When you do these Q&As, I'm sure you're not surprised by any question, but my question is, are you surprised by any question by these parents?
That's a great question right there. No, not really. I mean, I have been...
Because you've heard it all, right?
Yes, I mean, I started looking into dyslexia way back 2005, maybe, and then I've been helping other people with their students and their children, rather, since 2012. So, yes, when my kids left me, you know, empty nesting, I decided to become a dyslexia expert. I kind of Googled, how do I do that? And I followed that path. So I actually really love dyslexic students. They're brilliant. They're so smart and funny and interesting, and they just need that help.
You know what this reminds me of? We're encouraged to color outside the lines, you know, to be separate and be creative, but yet when you start to do that, and people like, get back in here, and that frustrates the child. And as you mentioned, some, maybe not all, but a higher percentage, just have more creativity, and they just need ways to channel that through, and we need to be understanding of that.
Right, right. Well, it kind of goes back to the brain a little bit. You know, yes, it's an inefficient system for reading and spelling, but sometimes that out-of-the-box thinking,
Right.
imagining, creative inventing, athletics, all sorts of other areas connect and thrive. So that's what we want to do up and in, is really remediate those weaknesses, but at the same time bring out the potential.
You know, this has generational impact, and it has generational impact, vertical and horizontal. Horizontal would be the immediate family of parents, siblings, and community. But in generational is that you've told me, and this is a startling figure, and I can understand and believe it. I used to do a prison ministry. 50% of the population, the prison population in Louisiana, they're dyslexic.
Dyslexia has no bounds, right? Rich, poor, all economic, everybody is affected equally.
Yeah.
We cannot help folks have access to reading. Just think about it, job opportunities. Life just doesn't have the choices that we need to have if you can't really access that reading.
All right, so the next informational meeting is going to be Monday, June 17th at 1 p.m. It'll be at the Lincoln Parish Library. Bring your questions, bring your concerns. Jenny will be there. It's totally free, obviously. And prior to that, what else can people do? Do you have your own personal business, right? I mean, so if there's, explain what that is, and maybe somebody who's going to be watching this says, you know what, that's what Timmy needs, that's what Tammy needs, my daughter, my child. Can they get in touch with you and start the process?
Right. So the chronology is, I was a mom, then I was helping other people's kids since I was able to help my own, and I opened a dyslexia therapy business. So that's called Bright Spot Dyslexia Therapy. As I'm kind of working more and more with LKA, I'm phasing out my own therapy, but I'm still a resource, and I know just a ton of other people that could help. I have a network of friends who are all becoming therapists or have just become therapists. So you can always reach out with just questions. I try to have coffee with a mom if they would like to just visit. I want to be that listening ear to the parent because I totally get where you are. And you just want someone to understand what you're talking about.
Well, I know how you feel. Others have felt that way. I know that because I'm a mother, as you met. How's your daughter doing?
Oh, she's great. She graduated college. She had, she's a successful girl. It's great.
That's awesome. That is awesome. So, I mean, there is help. There is hope because you know those nights of anguish and frustration as well.
Gosh, you know, think about homework every night. The crying, I mean, it's not funny, but I just relate. It's just, oh my goodness, they can't get this done, and why can't they just read it, or just spell it, or just do it without help?
Right.
And until you kind of unlock all of that, it's difficult. It's just very frustrating for everybody.
So one of the key things that people should be looking at, for the main, I guess, red flag, is your child struggling with reading would be the main thing. Is there another one?
Oh, I mean, spelling too. I hear from adults, it's kind of funny, they come for their kids and then they say, you know, I'm actually a lot like that, where they're successful in their jobs, their careers, and they've had a fine, successful life, but they say, I've never been a good speller, or I can read, but oh, it's so hard, it's so slow. So another thing I would say is, yes, it's usually reading that is the telltale sign, but it's the struggle of reading. Why is it so much effort? That's really, to me, a red flag.
Jenny Morse is our guest, and you can find out more. Give her a call, 805-7865, 805-7865. Come Monday, that is going to be the 17th. We're recording this show on the 12th of June, so Monday, the 17th, 1 p.m. at Lincoln Parish Library. I'm sure you have others in the hopper as well, because maybe not all can make a Monday afternoon.
Right.
And we'll keep folks informed on that. Best way for folks to stay abreast of what you're doing, Facebook and/or website, what's the best?
Right. Well, our website probably for right now, I'm working on getting our social media a little bit more robust. But yes, you can go to the website, which is
LKAschools.com, Louisiana Key Academy. The inaugural year, is it going to be following the same school year? So you're going back to school in August or
right,
September?
August 15th is our first day of school. We're going to be located, if you're curious,
Sure.
just where is the school? We're it's right on the edge of campus. We're using part of First Baptist of Ruston property. So there is a brick building on Monroe in Texas, and then there's a middle building and a playground. So that whole area, we are renovating that building and creating maybe configuration of rooms for the classroom.
I went by there the other day. Powerhouse, that complex there? Okay. So that...
That middle, use that for cafeteria, PE.
I got you. So that's good. All the pieces of the puzzle are seeming to fall into place, aren't they?
Yes, very quickly. It's been great.
Explain that too, because I mean, how did Ruston? It started in Baton Rouge, you say?
Right.
That was the first campus, second, or
yes,
Shreveport?
Yes, no. North Shore was next.
Okay.
And Tata was in its second year right now.
Mm-hmm.
The fall will be its second year.
And so, how did it happen to Ruston?
Well, I mean, I don't want to take too much credit, but it was really just a connection that I had.
Right.
I went, when I said I wanted to be a dyslexia expert, I went down to Baton Rouge to the Dyslexia Resource Center, which is LKA's sister program. They do the testing, the assessment, and then they do teacher training. So I went down to get one-on-one, face-to-face. We had just kind of come out of all of COVID, and I was like, I'm going to try to be a body in the classroom. So did that down there, got trained, and then my trainer, I guess, I didn't know, was telling our boss lady, Dr. Laura Cassidy, who is one of the co-founders of the school, about me. And I don't know what she said, but apparently it got her attention. And so she emailed me and said, would you be interested in seeing if there's enough interest in Ruston to try to do a pod?
So be careful what you ask for, because you may be the solution that you're looking for.
Right. Well, I was
That's
thrilled.
awesome.
I was thrilled.
That is awesome. Jenny Morse, thank you so much. Let us know what we can do to help, because I could literally hear and feel the cries of the parents as well as the children out there just saying, what is the problem? What's the deal here? So thank you.
Well, thanks for having me.
You're welcome. It is 9:01 here at the New Rue 102. We continue with Bakar, and we're going on the New Rue 102. Mike Stone Show going to be happening this morning in an hour from 10 until noonish on the New Rue 102. Awesome.